Delay 3 is one of the newest plugins that we had in FL Studio. And we had Delay Bank, Delay 2, and now we have Delay 3. So let's go over a little bit of the delay parameters of the Delay 3. So if we go here to Delay and Reverb, you see that we have Delay Bank, Delay 2, and then now we have Delay 3. By the way, just to let you know what I'm talking about, this is Delay Bank, Delay 3, Delay 2, and Delay 3. So Delay 3 has a more modern vibe to it, you know, and this one's here, Fruity Delay 2, it's a little bit more limited. So there's not too many parameters with this one. And then here, Delay Bank, you have absolutely fully control over everything. You can have several banks. I really like this to make stereo effects because you can have, for instance, one pen left and one pen right like this, and you can have different parameters for each. And this gives you a very, very good control over the feedback and how one side, the right side and the left side, will react in terms of the delay. So I really enjoy this delay bank here. It's a little bit more advanced. Maybe I will do a tutorial on this in the future. But for now, let's just center here with Delay 3. And as you can see, it's a really cool plugin, a nice, what's the word that I'm looking for? A nice layout. And first of all, we have here the input level. And let me see if I still have something here. Let's go to the step sequencer. Let's bring a sample just just to showcase something. Let's do a snare. And let's bring, well, where did I put this again? I did on the channel 1. Let's close the mixer. So as you can see, this is the delay working. It's just giving echoes of the input signal. So if I lower this down and if I play, then you see that we still have some delay here. So this is kind of if I really want to just leave the dry signal, then I go here and I remove the wetness. Oh, I forgot that I had the other two delays. I was kind of strange why the input was not giving me. Oops, I think I deleted the wrong one. Some technical issues here. I'm sorry. Yes, so that's it. So if I remove the input, then we just have the normal snare. That's what I was expecting, to be honest. So here, basically, you just set the signal that you want to feed the delay. So if I put like halfway, and that's it. Then we have here the delay time. Basically, you can see that these small circles respond to the time. And if we look at the hint panel, we will see that in this position, the time is 4. We can go for 3, 2, 1, and this would be steps. So 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and 4. Meaning that if I have 4 steps, what I have here, let me copy this snare. Let's put on channel 2. What I would have here would be something like this. So step 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would have here another snare. So if I remove this and if I play this, and of course this would have to be like this, the volume should go down. Okay, let's try to do that or exemplify that here with the snare with the delay. So as you can see, the gain was lower, or the gain decay or the volume decay was a little bit lower, but in this case it was the same thing here. If I wanted like 3 steps, then what would happen would be something like this. Okay. As you can see, this is the time signature here, or the time delay. Then we can keep tempo sync, meaning that it will sync to the tempo. If I remove this, now we get a different type of knob. In this case, now is milliseconds, as you can see there. Now it's milliseconds. So if you want to keep yourself in the tempo, you just go ahead and select tempo, and you get these pointings, these small circles where you can go up to 16 steps. And yeah, okay. We can also keep the pitch. This, to be honest, I'm not sure too much what's going on. Then we have smoothing, which basically just tell us. Let's remove that. Basically, it's basically a smooth of one delay to the other, and just smooths the delay time of each single reflection or echo of the delay. Then we have here an offset, so we can have this in time for 4, but we can apply a slight offset, and we can go up to 100 or minus 100. So if I do 4 and I do an offset, let's go 100. Basically, it's just giving an offset to the left and right. And we can put one or the other in front. So this one would put the left side in front of the right side. This will put the right side in front of the left side. Or what I mean is like it's giving an offset, so meaning that the right side will play first and then the left side will play. Okay, and this is a nice effect. If you want to create some type of stereo effect, you could maybe add, maybe not so much, but let's see, 20. And you see it automatically kind of makes the snare or the echo stereo. So that could be an option if you want to make your sounds a little bit more stereo. Then we have the delay mode, which could be mono, stereo, ping pong mode, or off. In this case, we just have the normal, the dry signal going in. Ping pong, it will jump like ping pong. It will jump from one channel to the other. Maybe we can... okay, let's do an offset. And you can see now that if I have this in ping pong mode, it now shows for panning. So I can put first on the right and then on the left. Actually, it's the opposite, first on the left and then on the right. And then first I can put first on the right and then on the left. Okay. And if I put stereo, you can see now we get an offset. If I put mono, this will probably do nothing. Actually still does. Shouldn't, but yeah, okay. Okay, let's take this out. And now if I put this with mono, with no stereo, then you see the difference. This is what I was expecting if we were in mono. But yeah, you know, this cancelling of the signals are being summed up and they are being cancelled. I see here another comment from Yeah, I Love Beats. Welcome to the chat. If you have any questions about music production, just leave them here and I will do my best to try to answer. Okay, then we have the feedback here. And the feedback, let's put this in stereo with a little bit of separation here, there, or offset. Then the feedback basically just tells us it's the control over the repetition. So if I want very low, a very low level of feedback, as you've seen, it goes a little bit faster. So if I do just, I play and stop, just give me like 2 or 3 repetitions. If I put a big level, you see it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. So the feedback basically just feeds the delay. So if you have a big level here it's feeding and feeding the delay, and you have longer times or longer delay times or longer echoes. So basically here the level just controls how much feedback you want. Then we have a cutoff, which controls, so let's put this maybe in at half, and let's do a cutoff, meaning that on the delays or on the echoes, we are going to apply a high pass filter. So let's see. Hope you can hear. What happens is that whenever I play and then stop, what happens is that the delays have a smaller echo, and we can play around with it. No, we can't. It's fixed. So I would have to play again to get a different cutoff there. As you can see, if I go like this with a big cutoff at 1K, the delays or the feedback has a very low end. And then of course you can add some resonance. Let's lower the feedback. Let's stop this. Of course, you can control here the type of filters that we want. In this case, it's, as you can see, it's a low pass. We can go with a high pass. And in this case, let's go maybe for 2K. And we could still do a band pass, meaning that if I load here a filter, or let me open in a new channel so that this has no influence. So what a low cut means is that if we have here low pass, we would have something like this. So this would be the cutoff frequency or the cutoff there that we would, let me take this off. No, they are not. I just wanted to have this one here. Okay, as you can see, if I move this is what the cutoff frequency here represents. Then if I want resonance, this would be the resonance. So as you can see, this peak here is detailed by the resonance there. And I can have none or I can have a big one. And this would be the result here. As you can see, this up curve and then going down with a low pass. If I wanted a high pass, this would be something of those lines like this. This would be a low pass, where a high pass actually, where only the high frequencies go, and the resonance again would be something like that. We would get a high peak there in the cutoff frequency, which would be represented by that. And then we also have a band pass, which would be something like this. And the resonance here in this case would be how sharp it is here. It could be a big wide range, or it could be a very narrow range here of the cutoff of the band pass. Okay, then we have the sample rate. Basically this can reduce or increase, or not increase, but it can reduce the sample rate to give a more lo-fi vibe. And in this case, I would not recommend to mess too much with the sample rate. I mean, in this case, actually, it sounds good, but let's take off the filter. Let's reduce the sample rate. You can see this is the type of effect that it gives. It kind of makes it sound a little bit lo-fi or distorted because it's reducing the sample rate. Okay. We can also reduce the beat numbers. So we can go up to or down to 2 beats. It's funny because there's no, let's put this maybe at 5. Okay, not that bad, but if it goes to 2, it doesn't have any feedback. As you can see, kind of very sharp sound because it doesn't have too much what's the word, resolution. So you can play around with these two here. Then we have modulation, diffusion, and feedback distortion. This one's here, modulation, just basically just changes the rate of these two things here. We can change the rate of the time, or we can change the rate of the cutoff filter. So if I wanted to have modulation for the cutoff, let's say that I want let's do a band pass, and let's put it at 1K with something like that. Let's say that I want to change the frequency of that. I can go here for the cutoff, and let's put 100%, and let's put a rate of 20 Hertz so that we can hear the effect. As you've seen, it's kind of strange. Let's put it slower. Let's increase the level here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's going up and down. Let's see a less. Yeah, so this would be a lower volume of the rate. And we can also play around with the timing. So let's go something like this. So now it's at 4 and it will go up and down. So it's kind of hard to understand the difference, but basically we are adding some LFO to the timing or the cutoff frequency, and we can add both. Then we have this diffusion, basically just kind of a spreading of the signal. So if I do 100% spread and I do a level of 100%, let's see the result. So it gives us this kind of metallic sound. So if you want some metallic delay, you would probably go with something like this. As you can see, it sounds really cool also. Then we have this feedback distortion, which is basically takes the signal here and applies some distortion. We can have saturation or a limiter, and then we can make it really intense like this. And you can hear a lot of distortion there, or saturation in this case. Let's remove that. And that's pretty much it for this one. Then we have the dry signal. Basically, we can just have the wet signal. Let's add a little bit of saturation so that we can hear the signal there. Or we can just have the dry signal. And we have only one here because there's no delay going out from this one here. And of course, we can change also the tone. Let's make it low. Basically, this is changing the pitch or the not the pitch, but it's making the delay a little bit more darker. And this one is going to put it a little bit brighter.